Okay, so this game is one of those games that gets your blood pumping because you don't see Helena in the leader options and you see Kwisatz. And that's exciting. That's exciting. Um, and what I wanted to do was play Beast so I could get Mini McFilm. Mini McFilm? Um, but Beast got taken in fourth position, actually. We could beat him to it with Romber if we draw a ring. Um, and this could be a fun opportunity to play Ariana, who has more spaces on the board that can draw our cards, and easier access to Research Station. But we're not doing Romber, so I guess Ariana it is. No Signet Ring this round is not good. This is tricky. We have 5 this round, and we have double Convincings, which is not great, because we want to try to get the card next round. So, we could Dagger to Tech Negotiation to block Beast from Mnemic Film. I don't think that makes a ton of sense. We could do it and get the film next round using both Negotiators. And then take our Seek Allies to Still Suits if it's still available. Or we could just go ahead and grab Fold Space. The combat has a faction bump. We're not likely to win the combat with the Beast in the game. There's also Spice available. This is tricky. I think because we have Signet Ring and Reconnaissance in our next hand, we do not worry about getting the Still Suits. And we instead grab Tech Negotiation. And yeah, Romber, that person just was AFK. This is kind of a weird play, but this is what I'm doing. I mean, I don't have smuggling access, so we're going to have to get creative with things. Next round, Tech Negotiation will provide 2 Persuasion. But the problem is, if we go there with Dagger, then we can't go to Research Station. We have 2, 3, 4 Persuasion in hand. That would take us to 6. Fold Space gets taken. Does Beast take Still Suits? If Beast takes Still Suits, then we can go... If he doesn't take Still Suits, sorry, we can go to Tech Negotiation, and we can go to Research Station without having to make a stop with our Signet Ring first. That could make the difference. This round we need as much Persuasion as we can get. That probably means shifting allegiances in the voice. Beast leaves us Fremen. We take Still Suits. We don't expect to win the combat. If we could get two Spice, that would open up the possibility of selective breeding, but we're not going to have We're not going to have BG access, so maybe we save our troops. The problem is every single person's going to go after us. So I think we keep our troops in reserve, even though Ariana really wants the Spice. Okay, let's put 2 troops in. The more persuasion that we can gather this round, the better off we're going to be for Kwisatz next round. So there's an argument for triple, like double liaison voice. I don't really love it though. We could also go with space travel instead of voice and go space travel shifting allegiances. There's a lot of 2 persuasion cards out here. You can't go up with Guild, because he's the only one that went to Guild. He can go up with the other factions, though. Next turn I'm going to draw all my yellow. So I also have the possibility of going to a desert space to draw cards. I don't think that'll be efficient, though. We're going to draw a dagger next round, but we're not going to draw Seek Allies, and we're not going to draw this dagger, unless we draw into it from Research Station. Beast can still get Mnemonic Film ahead of us by going there next round, as can the people that place in the combat. So maybe this wasn't a good play. So I'm probably getting 1 spice out of this. Not great, but Ariana needs all the spice she can get. Probably this was a mistake. I mean, I kind of knew it was a mistake when I did it. Problem with shifting allegiances on Ariana is that the 2 spice is really hard to come by. So maybe we go Voice and see what comes up after that. Romber doesn't deploy, so we don't get screwed out of spice entirely. I would really like a Ariana win. I got one a long time ago, like a month and a half ago, and I haven't been able to get one since. Get Voice. CGA comes up, but she doesn't. Problem is, she doesn't actually, like, even though she's a good card and probably better than going double liaisons or anything like that, she only provides 1 persuasion. I think we go space travel. And that's 4 persuasion. Romber grabs the allegiances. Good to keep it away from Beast. I don't think Romber as an AI is going to be efficient at actually taking the I shouldn't have put in 2 troops. Yeah, that was a mistake. We've got a negotiator, so even if they don't get the film, we still have 2 other pretty solid techs that are available. Leto gets the Imperial Spy, which is a good card, but doesn't have 2 persuasion. So we're not super worried about that. Okay, so in the reveals, Leto has a dagger and a Seek Allies in his deck, so we're not worried about that. Romber has a dagger and a Seek Allies in his deck. We're not worried about that. How many convincings? 1 convincing in deck for Leto. 1 convincing in deck for Romber. CGA for Beast. Beast has 1 convincing and 2 daggers in deck, so we're not worried about that. Beast goes up with probably Guild. These guys could go selective breeding. I think that's the concern, really. We don't have to play Signet Ring now, so we can go straight Dagger, Research Station. Romber gets round 2 Swordmaster. Going second is not a huge surprise. We didn't draw yellow, so we didn't have the possibility to contest it. We have 4 Persuasion in hand. We need to draw 4 more. We'll get 2 from green if we're allowed to go there. The problem is that now Leto has access to the film as well because he got the spice from the combat. Surely he'd rather go Fold Space though. Okay, cool, sweet. But I think that Beast is going to take it. He could even take it going to Dreadnought. as a backup plan, we could take Signet Ring to Research Station and then another yellow card, a Dune, to Imperial Basin. If we did that, we probably want to take the Dune first. On average, drawing cards nets us Persuasion, because we have 4 cards with 2 Persuasion in discard pile, 1 with 1, and 1 with 0. Still seems sweet. Okay. Well, here's the problem. That's his second water. If we Signet Ring to Research Station, we might just miss the opportunity to get... Like, if we grab the film, we might just miss the Research Station. Voice is 5. Dagger, oh god, 6. Okay. So now we have to get Tech Negotiation to get it. Hopefully, by going Research Station, we send a message to Beast. Hey, you're not getting Kwisatz. Go do something else. That was a below average draw. We drew one of our 1s and we drew one of our 0s and left 3 different 2s in deck. That means that a Dune the Desert Planet to a Spice Space can't possibly bail us out. If Leto immediately cashes out here, we could go Mentat and still get it. But doesn't seem likely. Double up is the better play for him, I think. Because up down just gets him to 6. That's not enough. Yeah. So it just comes down to what the Beast does here. Does he want to punish the first player, or does he want to go do his own thing? I don't have the spice to go to selective breeding, which is the thing I could do also. Siege Taper. Sweet. Let's go. The only downside of doing all this is that probably the Beast just gets Web of Power, which is not nearly as good as Kwisatz, but still pretty damn good. But we're going to have this mnemic film for the rest of the game. This is not like I get an extra Persuasion round 2. I get an extra Persuasion for quite a while. Oh, he doesn't. Sweet. Okay. So we reveal, we grab Kwisatz, and that is exactly what I wanted to see. So now our priority shifts getting our Swordmaster. We kind of have a Swordmaster in Kwisatz, but we're not going to get that every round. 4 water on beast is crazy. Artillery. Probably not that good for us. No green. Yellow kind of sucks, actually. Definitely we want to hit fold space. Or probably also wealth. I wonder if wealth is better than fold space here because we can go to Mentat. Well, yeah, this row is crazy. Like, even other memory is fantastic. Just plays Dune. Okay. Because we have Kwisatz, we don't care so much about where we are in the turn order for Swordmaster. We just kind of need to get the Solari. I think the best way to do that is Conspire. So that's why I'm kind of trying to draw into yellow. We've got 4 yellow in our draw pile. We're very likely to hit it. Smuggling. Okay. Doesn't block the things that we kind of want. This is a really good combat to win, which is one reason why I probably go Wealth Mentat, actually. Rumber takes Great Flat. That locks us off of Conspire for a while. He buys a tech. Shuttle Fleet, that's exciting. And Lito's going to play that value train. That's fine. Our goal is that Kwisatz can outvalue it. Whether it can or not, I don't know, but that's what we're going to try for. We have a 1 in 7 chance of drawing Kwisatz off of Mentat, assuming that Beast doesn't go for it. Grabs artillery. Kind of awkward. Okay, go to 4 Solari. Spaceport, not a good tech, but could be good, getting us an extra crack at Kwisatz. What do you want to do, Najjar? You're the most mysterious player. I don't really know what you've been... I mean, besides winning combats, I don't really know what your strategy is. Tech negotiation. Training drones? Question mark? I mean, presumably that's what it is, right? Okay, this is a kind of a heavy tech game. Wind traps. Why? Okay, that's actually just straight funny. I'm Ariana, and he has 5 water. So we could reveal for other memory Web of Power. On its own, that's not terrible. Or we could play into the 1 in 6 chance of drawing Kwisatz by playing to Imperial Basin. We're not going to win the combat, sadly. We can get third, though. I don't know how much 1 spice is. It's really worth. Does get us to selective breeding, which is pretty good, though. Go to Imperial Basin, though. That's 3 spice. So really, I mean, we already would have access to that. And it's not the 4 that we need. Spice trader. So they're basically just ignoring the BG stuff. God, this is so tricky, but I think that... Well, let's see what he reveals for. Opulence? Or do you try to go for the Web of Power? Opulence. Sweet. Cool, we still reveal for 8. So how badly do we want 1 spice? Not that badly, I think. It does open the path to Swordmaster next round. Because we could go to Haga Basin, get our 4th spice. We don't have any Emperor access. That doesn't really work. Let's just do it. Ramba reveals 4. He probably takes the Web of Power. No, it takes the other memory. Web of Power. Do we get the BG Sister? So there Bene Gesserit card, but I don't think so. Like, I think at this point we just want a small deck. We get guaranteed Kwisatz next round. Because we failed to get it this round. Thankfully, Romber now has interstellar access. Why did he early reveal with an agent left over? Weird stuff. The problem is that getting Kwisatz in the last hand like this sucks. Like, we're going to have to shuffle without it. Not good. All these point combats are coming up, and we're not really competing for them. It took us until round 4 to draw this. If we can get Embedded Agent, though, we'll make up for lost time. We have a Signet Ring, so we might want to try to just keep hitting Research Station. I mean, so, okay, so he's going to get his Swordmaster this round, right? Like, you cash out? Is that what happens here? Yeah, okay. So, unless we're literally Kwizatzing to Swordmaster, we're not getting the Swordmaster this round. Actually, yeah, we can. Maybe. So, voice. Block Swordmaster. Or should we block Conspire? Romber Wind Traps. Diplomacy is pretty good because that means we don't have to use Kwisatz on Conspire. And we block Leto from taking Swordmaster as well. The problem is... well, it's fine. Because if Leto Swordmaster's on his second action, that's okay. As long as he didn't go to Conspire, I can still Kwisatz to Swordmaster on my third action. Now, the question is, does he predict that we block Swordmaster because we're trying to get Swordmaster this round, rather than because we're trying to screw him over? Highliner. Okay, cool. So we're guaranteed Swordmaster this round is what that means. Because the only way we could be blocked from it is if Leto had gone to Conspire. We should still have enough persuasion after this, too, to get the embedded agent. We really want spice for selective breeding, but we have a faction that just doesn't do that. Kind of irritating. So we basically cost Beast to Swordmaster. He can't go there because he only has one action. He chooses not to Mentat. Now Leto will probably still get his Swordmaster. It's just he'll have to get it later, which is fine. That's what Kwisatz is for. Our relative advantage of Ariana of having extra water is kind of disappearing this game because these guys have so much water. Like, look at this. Refill our garrison, which is needed. Entry cards also pretty needed. Just overall very, very helpful space for us. This is a bad card, though. Romber to High Council. Interesting. Does Leto have the green access? I mean, he's got 5 cards in hand. He's got to have it. Artillery. Honestly, Romber is in a really freaking strong position. If he wasn't an AI, I would be worried. Leto loses the ability to use his Signet Ring. Beast has to reveal early. CGA ships up. I think Leto wins this combat because he has artillery. Kind of ugly. We might have just kind of ruined the Beast's game just now. I mean, he went Hardy Warriors and he's not going to win the combat. How much did he reveal for? 2? Okay. Remember finally playing his Seek Allies. And we are completely without resources. Carthag. Interesting. Well, the Signet Ring is really helpful. Like, the water is going to be pretty awesome. Arakeen probably draws us... Well, it's 50-50. Could draw us into this. But we need to get through our deck quicker, so this is the play. This would draw us card 2, but... Okay, doesn't get us that, but gets us something about as good. Yeah, I just think I need spice. At 4, I don't know that I buy anything at all. Whew, Gurney. Maybe Imperial Spy, but since I already have my friendship with him, don't know that that's necessary. It does self-trash, so it doesn't get too much in the way of Kwisatz, but... Where are we taking our faction bump? I don't know that Guild does anything. We take it with Emperor and just try to lock in that alliance. This is not bad, actually. Or we could take Fremen and try to get more water. Have access to Siege Tabor. I don't think anyone's seriously fighting us for Emperor anyway, but the 2 troops are really nice, and we're kind of behind on that metric. I think we just say no to cards that don't draw cards. He only ends up 1 dagger ahead. So that visit to Carthag actually did matter. He's 3 points ahead of us. It's 2 combat points already. This is gonna be tough. This is a combat we want to be in. What a terrible card to get this early. Well, we're putting the theory of does Kwisatz automatically win the game to the test, right? We're playing a really bad leader in a bad situation, so it's an interesting question whether we'll be able to pull it out or not. Does he load up for Highliner again by discarding a card? He does. He does indeed. Double Convincing kind of kills us here. But we get to do the thing where Ariana's actually useful, right? We get to, voice Imperial Basin and actually draw a card on spaces that normally wouldn't draw cards. We kind of screwed up our troops in the first round, and that's really starting to bite us. Beast is the last one to take Swordmaster, so he's in no rush to get it. If we're thinking about where to voice, we need to probably start going ahead and... Well, it really depends on what we draw. Oh, come on, man. Now we have to go to Haga Basin. Just pay it water for the same effect. Suppose we could voice to Arakeen. That's probably the better play. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So we don't have to worry about blocking a space for that reason. I don't know how much faction access Leto really has here. If he goes Highliner, he takes the Alliance, and that's bad. Just for obvious reasons. I could screw Beast for no reason, but I don't really want to do that. This is the space I could actually see myself going to. Wildcard bag. We want spice. We kind of want it badly. And we don't really want Leto getting extra deployments to the combat, nor do we want him giving himself Solari. One Solari is all it takes for him to buy a Mentat. He's definitely our threat now. Like, this is the guy we have to worry about. Okay, not skimming super hard. Beast goes to Swordmaster. Which I'm not too bothered by. I do wonder if blocking a Swordmaster was the optimal play. I don't think so. Did he grab another spice? Why not? Right? We need to draw cards. Let's wait on the deployments, I think. Well, if we put one in... No, let's play to win. We can always quiz outs in response. Romber with Chamarchy and a Dreadnought. Yeah, he's living the Romber dream. Whew. Dude's swimming in resources. Shuttlefleet is actually so good for him. Now, hopefully they don't know I have Kwisatz. And Leto says, hey, I have artillery. I'm going to reveal and win this. I don't need to put more troops in. Hopefully that's what he says. Draw a card from Kwisatz. Could draw another dagger. Could draw Signet Ring or Diplomacy, which would be bad, and Web of Power, which would be fantastic. Reveals early. I like to see that. No Persuasion. But he puts himself firmly out of our reach. So, decision to deploy to this conflict is starting to look pretty dumb. I'm just really bad at combats. It's my worst. It's the worst section of my game. Gurney and Embedded Agent are both so good. Let's see what Beast does. I'm kind of curious. Really, Kwisatz becomes a lot more powerful once we get Spacing Friendship, but it's a little too late for that. I mean, we might get it at the end of this round when we reveal if we get the Web of Power. He doesn't really even need the spice, but he could use it for a flagship. Interesting. Is this a second early reveal? Go get Swordmaster and then don't use it? Still, if it got him Gurney Halleck, it would probably be worth it. Putting that on top is pretty powerful. Okay, now we're going to spend 3 troops for 1 spice, so I'm feeling pretty silly here. Infinite water for Beast. Okay, so where are we Kwizatzing? Yeah, wealth honestly is not bad. Norris still suits. Norris, fold space. Norris, lots of breeding. Breeding might get Essa. This is tough. I mean, I don't think Selective Breeding is the play, because we're not going to actually use any of the cards. It just makes us more likely to stay Web of Power and more likely to see Kwisatz next round, which is pretty good. But the Solari is a Mentat. And more troops for next round. Let's do the Selective Breeding. Commit to the bit. Cool. 8. Takes Gurney. That's fine. We kind of want Embedded Agent anyway. It's a point for Romber. Sad that I'm even saying that, but it's relevant. So now we're 1 influence away from a point on all 4 faction tracks. Come on, show him directorship. I think we revealed for Guildherd. Could do Emperor. There's not a bad chance that we end up going to Guild anyway with our space travel. Since we have the best guild access, maybe we do take Emperor. Tiebreaker would net us 2 spice and cost them each 1 spice. And honestly, are we even going to get a better use for this card? Would net us 1 spice, really. But costing them each 1 spice is good for me. If Leto wants to play a card over this, he can. That's another trip to selective breeding for me if I need to. And we'll have the access, actually. Draw the voice. Don't draw our power cards. That's okay. Romber is actually so strong this game. But then doesn't really use Gurney for anything useful. I wish he hadn't gone to Carthag because he's opening himself up on secrets, and he's also giving Leto Mentat. We can secrets diplomacy, but I think selective breeding is better. So we probably voice selective breeding. Yeah, I think we like voice to either Arakeen or a Spice Space. And then voice selective breeding. Could voice Interstellar if it's still available. Okay, well, so much for that. We can still get there with Kwisatz, but if we've got Kwisatz, then that kind of defeats the point, doesn't it? All three of them can go Mentat, so there's an argument for voicing Mentat. Even though I don't think the AI will actually want to go there. Secret still looks good with Romber having 4 cards. If Beast doesn't notice that interaction, then it's probably the best play. But we lose out on our card draw spaces doing that. Potentially. We could voice secrets, but then we run the risk that Romber plays one of his intrigue cards. We want to start getting Spice Must Flows at this point in the game, but we don't have the money for High Council, which is what's needed for it. He goes Mentat. Nobody has Interstellar yet. Oh, that's not good. There's no way I win this. I'm okay with Romber getting it. Not okay with Leto getting it. Romber doesn't play an intrigue card, so we're guaranteed to steal an intrigue card from him. Double Dagger sucks. We can't play him anywhere. We're gonna have to go into combat. Maybe we shouldn't have gotten the Initiate, but she starts for Agent, and she draws. What's Yellow doing? Teach Tabor again. Yeah. I don't. I'm playing Ariana, and I don't have enough water. It's kind of sad. With 3 agents, there's no way Beast doesn't try to join this combat. He has Fremen Alliance, too. Okay, Leto takes himself off of Highliner. Really unfortunate that Kwisatz got put in the back half of our deck both times. We could draw it going to Imperial Basin, but like that's a 1 in 9 chance. Time for Beast to cash in all his water. Signet Ring. I'd deploy if I was him. The combat gives you a troop back for winning it. Wait, what? You gotta trigger your Signet Ring, man. Let's see what we raid from Romber here. A point. I'm probably not going to be able to get this point. Water of Life. Okay, well, we can't get any water at this point in the game. Wow, neither of those are immediately useful. Just let these guys duke it out over this combat and try to come out on top next round. To think that Ariana doesn't have any water. Imperial Basin is really the only space we can do anything useful at. What are we going to do? Go to tech negotiation? These techs are too expensive. They don't have useful on-buy effects either. This was really bad. I mean, it's good to steal a point from Romber, but Romber's not going to win. That's probably the worst card in his hand we could have drawn. Artillery's already gone. There's not that many cheap techs left in the game, and I'm a leader that has a spice disability. And Water of Life is going to require spice too. I guess one advantage of tech negotiation is that it is a spice. That's one thing it can say for itself. Embedded Agent, a little bit too late, my friend. Still, I won't say no to an intrigue card. One way or another, we'll draw Kwisatz next round. These daggers have been haunting me all game. I feel like I would have won this. I feel like I would be clearly in the lead if I were Armandi Kaz right now. Still, that card draw into Embedded Agent is pretty good. You can get the water back using Web of Power if we get another influence with Fremen. Something to think about. Opportunity cost is that we cannot reveal it if we do that. And we have to play it to BG, which we don't really want to do. We're not, like, yeah, we're not likely to get this alliance. I think we're probably going to get a Spice Must Flow that next round, as long as we can find a water somewhere. which we'll have Kwisatz, we'll have a water. A little disrespectful, to be honest. Interesting highliner. I'm glad he did it this round and not next round. I think it makes sense, actually, because the 2 shipping bumps is quite helpful for him. The attacks are just so bad, is the issue. Bendu suspension. I don't know how useful this Mnemonic Film really was, honestly. It was good for Kwisatz, but not much else. Doesn't get the opulence point. Does get the power play. Does get the combat. Unless Romber wants to ambush him. Well, Bendu suspension all but guarantees that we get our Kwisatz without having to play Water of Life. And honestly, also, shipping restocks Beast's Garrison, so it does make a ton of sense for him. Even's going to give him a third of the spice back, most likely. He doesn't go up to get a tech. A little sad for me, because I was really hoping he could uncover some cheaper stuff. This is going to be exorbitantly expensive to get as a point. So I think we need to stop thinking about that and start thinking about which techs would benefit us. But the answer is none of them. I think we have to hope this game goes 2 more rounds and that we draw Kwisatz on the 8th round. Which, I think we can, with all this card draw, we can definitely do that, but that relies on, like, he's going to take this alliance. He's still got a point to get here. He doesn't have any Spicemas flows, and he doesn't have a high council seat, so I think it's quite possible. He is really slow, though. Leto's got a point, even if he's being rude. And we're just so far behind on water, it's becoming a problem. Grand Vision. Okay, so we do go to round 8. So we don't want to draw 4 cards, really. But our hand doesn't give us that choice. Looks like Leto's going to grab the Guild Alliance. I don't know if there is a way for us to win this combat. Maybe Kwisatz to Highliner if we could, hypothetically, if we could get this spot. But the Great Flat doesn't even give us enough spice because we're Ariana. I mean, that's the painful part of it all. This is going to be a tough one. We want to place in this combat, because if we place in this combat, then we have the spice we need for next round. So if we play Web of Power... So I think the play is space travel to fold space. That's going to give us the card draw from Web of Power, but we really just want the Fremen, man. Like, that's the issue. You could take BG Initiative to Arakeen. We want Mentat, we don't have the money. The new suspension. Convincing. We don't want to pass our turn. Hopefully Rumber buys attack. Doesn't have enough spice. Takes research station away from Leto, though. That's important. And Beast for what it's worth. So last card is Fold Space. We have very much universal access here. We kind of want a Signet Ring because we just need the water that badly. Especially if we want to play Water of Life. I hate to give Leto money, but Carthag might be the better space. Well, don't get a choice. Leto will go up with Emperor, using his ring. And the spice cost to him is immaterial at this point. Because of Kwisatz, we have close to last dibs. Oh, interesting. He wants to chase Romber. I guess he anticipates a combat win. We want to go to Siege Tabor, but we don't have the 2 Fremen influence. I guess going for the Emperor Alliance was a mistake. We haven't used the troops. Yeah, this guy is really slow. Especially for somebody that's clearly not going to win the game. I say clearly. He could absolutely win the game, but I think it's between me and Leto. Tap. I do like having that denied from Leto. So Signet Ring, Arakeen, draw our Fold Space, get a water. This is what's needed if we want to be ahead of Romber, so let's just do this. Even though I kind of want to put more effort into winning next combat. Like we need to get 3rd place in this combat at the minimum. Poison Snooper is not a very good round 7 card. I had it in my game against Bludgeon and I wasn't very happy with it then either. We play Fold Space, we give up on playing Web of Power. I think that's fine. The faction bump is that good. I don't think Leto wins this. Even with artillery. Romber has another action, and Beast has 7 troops in garrison and 2 actions, and I have 2 actions. I don't think we draw Kwisatz next round. Unless we go selective breeding. Which we could. Seems dangerous. We have the water for Water of Life now. I don't think we'll need it though. We have 3 cards in hand, 4 cards in hand that cantrip. Beast doesn't deploy. He might just be all in on next combat. Fold space to still suits is pretty good. If we go Web of Power. It's more likely to hit Kwisatz next round. We would draw 3. Decent chance of getting Embedded Agent, but what's the point of Embedded Agent at this point anyway? Not useful. Romber gets attack. Spaceport. Disposal facility. Way too late for that tech. Way too late. I'm not revealing any daggers. I guess it depends on does Beast charge in on its 3rd action here. If he doesn't, then we don't have to do anything with the combat and we can just get our 3 spice and leave. But the fact that he went to Imperial Basin tells me otherwise. But, I mean, really though, he can't deploy more than 2 troops in, so maybe not. Training drones is 3. That's still just a tie with me. And I have 6 cards in hand, so the odds that that goes well for him are pretty low. If we Kwisatz to BG here, any BG space, we can Web of Power to steal the Alliance. I think that's actually the play. The question is, are we Kwisatzing to selective breeding, or are we Kwisatzing to secrets? There's a halfway decent chance that we get the effective secrets from selective breeding anyhow via Embedded Agent. These cards suck. Like, these are not our good cards. We want to get past them. That allows us also to save Water of Life for next round's Spice Must Flow. Interesting finesse. We don't want to trash any of this stuff. Oh my god. Well, they're out of the deck. Holy romber. He actually goes to Tylito. And he has more intrigue cards. Can he steal my Emperor Alliance? No. But he could steal BG. He could also try to steal from Leto. Oh my god, I forgot to play my Water of Life. Treachery. It's got to be the best thing here. Corner of the market's pretty good, but we can't get it because we didn't play Water of Life. Leto ambushes ahead. What does Romber do? Oh, nothing. Okay. Okay, so Leto's gonna steal the BG Alliance. That's fun. Romber, you have 3 intrigue cards. I have no spice. Well, no, I am gonna get some from the combat. So I can Water of Life next round. If I hadn't finessed, he couldn't have stolen that. Maybe that was my mistake. I just didn't think he'd win. Kwisatz again, let's go. He has no troops anymore, but he has enough for Highliner. We could voice Highliner, but we can't keep him away from it all round. And again, because we're Ariana, we can't make water and then go to Great Flat. It just doesn't work. The machine culture doesn't really get us anything either. Sweet. So we have 2 on every faction. We can infiltrate BG with this. We just don't have a way of actually forcing the issue. We could voice, dispatch an envoy. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Block selective breeding. Grand Conspiracy doesn't help us. Quid pro quo does. But we probably want to use it with Kwisatz. We go to Guild. We could steal the Alliance that way. Leto can't use his ring to defend BG. He also can't use interstellar shipping for that. The problem is our ability to steal Guild is low because if he goes to Highliner, and he probably will, then he's going to be out of our reach. Can't infiltrate secrets and steal my cards because I have the card that does that. The only problem is now we're down to 9 persuasion again. You know, we could draw into treachery if we draw enough cards. That's one reason to go to selective breeding. Research station. Interesting. Ideal would be if Raban went to Highliner. I just don't know that he has the access. His CGA is in his discard pile. I think we win the game if he goes to Highliner. The Grand Conspiracy is sad because we're not getting there. We just don't have the Solari. Though I suppose we could using Interstellar. That's so outside of our general path that I don't think it works. We have no green access. Sweet. Now Beast threatens the Alliance. This shouldn't be a difficult decision, Beast. You put all your troops in. Every possible troop you can. And you use training drones. So the decision now is, do we go to Fold Space and try to steal both alliances with a quid pro quo? Or do we selective breeding, for sure take this alliance, and I think we do because this and this are so good. So take that back. Trash the diplomacy. Didn't get there. We could Kwisatz early in hopes of having access on our last action to the treachery. We can't use the quid pro quo anymore. We didn't draw the cards we wanted to draw. The interesting thing will be if anybody goes to Fold Space, right? And actually, we just drew 2 cards that had 0 persuasion on them. So we're playing with fire here. We can't use Web of Power anymore because we occupy both BG spaces. Leto protects Alliance going to fold space. That's good. We want him to play defensive like this. That. So now, where are we sending Kwisatz? We can't treachery to this faction. We already have this one. So maybe we send it to Still Suits and hope. Or we have green now. We send it to Interstellar Shipping, go to High Council. That guarantees us our Spice must flow this round. If the game goes another round, and I don't think any of these guys can end it this round, then we get potentially 2 points for next round. What does Web of Power do here? I think it takes a Fremen bump. That's less useful than playing it, though. So maybe I should have played this instead of Diplomacy. An extra card would have been quite helpful. Extra Solari would have been extremely helpful. Extra water would have been extremely helpful. I think that was a misplay. The good news is that Leto can't win the combat, which means that he can't win the game. He'll get a Spice Must Flow almost certainly. I think that's another argument for Still Suits, actually. The only problem is we can't take Fremen, most likely. I just don't see it happening. If we draw Treachery here, we can't use it for anything helpful. So, oh my god, these daggers! I swear, dude. Do we take the I mean, I think we take the Solari immediately. And we can always infiltrate High Council if Leto takes it. That does give us the first point of Grand Conspiracy as well. I just wish we could... I wish we could use half these intrigue cards, because we are at risk of having them stolen. The good news is we're going to act first next round. We also want to get in the combat, but we can't. What does Leto do with his last action? I think Mentat is the obvious play, but he doesn't seem to like to do that. This is actually crazy. Kwisatz will draw us a card. 25% chance that we lose our treachery. But any of these would be good. Grabs Jamis. Goes to Mentat. It's not surprising.